Today I'm in London reviewing the city cruises. Welcome to the United Kingdom Attraction Channel. Yes, hello and welcome to the United Kingdom Attraction Channel. It is the 19th of June 2021 and we are here in the UK capital of London. Joining me today is Samantha Punton. She hasn't been on the channel in a long time. She's a little bit shy. But she'll hopefully get some good reviews off her later on today. We are not just going to do the city cruises, we're also going to be doing the London Eye and the Shard, which is behind me, which is Europe's tallest tower, or skyscraper I should say. So we are here at the Tower of London, where the crown jewels of Her Majesty the Queen is kept. We are going to be making our way to Westminster, which is very close to the London Eye, and then hopefully we're going to be reviewing the London Eye as well. What I will say is we are going to have separate vlogs for each attraction. So this one is the city cruise. We're also going to have a London Eye vlog and the Shard vlog as well. So please, if you're watching this one and you want to see more attractions around London, please check them out as well. We'll also have attractions such as theme parks. I'm trying to think which one I was at last. Oh, Legoland Resort Windsor, which is in London. Also got Thorpe Park, which is a London park, and Chesterton Worlds of Adventure, so if you want to check them out as well. And we'll also have many attractions from right across the UK, so you can check them out too. So for the London cruises, it is a city cruise. There is Uber boats, however we're not on the Uber, we're on the city cruises, which is a little bit slower of a boat and just takes in the sightseeing of London as well. So we're gonna, without further ado, make our way towards the city cruise boat and hopefully get a top seat on the top deck to get some good views, and hopefully we'll have some audio as well to tell us all the attractions and monuments and things of culture here at London. So we'll see you on the boat.
Palace of Westminster. We like started walking. Yes. But I hadn't got them. But we walked up the stairs. So we walked in, and then we was like, she was hot. Not that then. I was like, oh, sorry, I thought we were going to the same. And like, I kept telling everyone like, go here, all you want to don't try. You'll get it, it's a bit weird. Like, he's got like, as an even just like, yeah. We get back to actually no, I think it was like 10. Yeah, it's not 10. Yeah, so it wasn't that was yeah, it was good because we went out after, like, we even planned on that, good as well. Hey, that's really good.
So that is us on board this ship. Are you excited, Samantha? Well,
yeah.
Boat, ship, is there a difference?
Yeah, there is a difference.
Find the difference out. Well, on board the boat, so hopefully we'll be starting soon, and we'll be able to take in the sights of London and show you some on-ride footage as well. So we hope you enjoy.
You're aboard. For your safety, please listen carefully to the following announcement. Please remain seated while the riverboat is moving. And if you leave your seat, watch your step and hold on to the handrails. We have life rafts and life jackets on board for every passenger, including children's sizes. Emergency exits are clearly marked with international symbols. Please take a moment to locate your nearest exit. In the unlikely event that we need to evacuate the vessel, remain calm and follow the instructions given by the crew. Thank you for your attention.
From the River Thames, you have a stunning view of Tower Bridge, a world-famous symbol of London, so famous that it's often mistaken for London Bridge. Tower Bridge is just over 100 years old, but its Gothic style makes it look much older.
That's no accident. Tower Bridge was designed to harmonise with a much older landmark on the north bank. The rectangular stone fortress with a dome turret at each corner. This is the legendary Tower of London, now almost 1,000 years old.
A huge grey and blue British warship named the HMS Belfast is permanently moored along the south bank. During World War II, Belfast fired its guns to protect the troops landing on D-Day. Today, it's a floating museum with 9 decks open to the public. Does London Bridge look especially historic? Maybe not at first. After all, this particular bridge is only a few decades old. But it's at least the 5th bridge that stood here. The Romans built the first London Bridge almost 2,000 years ago.
The wooden bridge that stood here in the year 1014 was pulled down by Viking warriors. That's probably where the nursery rhyme, "London Bridge is falling down," got started. Parts of London Bridge fell down many times over the centuries, but it was always rebuilt.
Queen Elizabeth II opened the latest London Bridge in 1973. If you travel to the USA, you can see the previous bridge. An American bought it, shipped it across the Atlantic, and rebuilt it stone by stone in Lake Havasu City, Arizona. Unofficially, it's also more than likely that Queen Elizabeth I encouraged him to loot any Spanish treasure ships he encountered on the way. Drake returned laden with riches, and the Queen's share of that stupendous wealth amounted to an estimated £600,000 in 1580, the equivalent equivalent of many millions a day, more than enough to pay off the country's national debt. Today, we'll sail under a series of bridges over the Thames, carrying cars, trains and pedestrians. Londoners love a good walk. Blackfriars Railway Bridge has a roof topped with slanted solar panels. The train station on that bridge gets 50% of its energy from the sun.
That's amazing when you consider how rare sunshine is in London. A replica of Shakespeare's globe now stands on the south bank, near the site of the original. It's a round building with white plaster walls, exposed oak beams, a thatched roof, and an open yard in the centre. On a stage in that yard, actors perform plays exactly as they were done in Shakespeare's time.
Well, not exactly. Did you know Juliet was originally played by a boy? Acting was considered an indecent profession for women, so young men played all the female characters. Wealthy playgoers could afford to sit in covered galleries around the sides of the theatre. Common folk stood in the yard. People didn't bathe often back then, and they had a habit of chewing garlic, which they thought protected them from the plague. Imagine trying to play Hamlet or Lady Macbeth to an audience that, quite frankly, stank.
Today, some playgoers still stand in the yard at Shakespeare's Globe. But modern hygiene makes attending plays more pleasant than it was in Shakespeare's day. Grey dome of St. Paul's Cathedral rises dramatically from the highest point in London. A cathedral dedicated to St. Paul has stood there for over 1,000 years. St. Paul's is an active place of worship in the Church of England, the national church of Great Britain. It's also a popular tourist attraction.
From the cathedral floor, you'll have a breathtaking view of the painted inner dome. If you have strong legs, you can climb the stairs leading to the top. Partway up is a circular balcony known as the Whispering Gallery. Ask a friend to stand on the opposite side, then turn to the wall and speak in a whisper. The gallery's acoustics are so perfect that you can hear each other. 528 steps up from the cathedral floor, you'll reach the Golden Gallery. It has a glorious 360-degree view of London and the Thames. Your legs may feel like jelly, but trust me, it's worth the climb.
In the cathedral's underground crypt, you'll find tombs and monuments commemorating British national heroes like Lord Nelson and the Duke of Wellington. You'll also find the tomb of Sir Christopher Wren, who dedicated 39 years of his life to designing St. Paul's and supervising its construction. His moving epitaph in Latin translates as, "Reader, if you seek his monument, look around you." On June 3rd, 2012, a million spectators lined the banks and bridges of the Thames.
Here they come!
Everyone in London seemed to be there, waving the British flag as more than 600 boats every night floated past, from giant battleships to tiny sculls, including the entire city cruising. Queen Elizabeth II rode in a royal red barge with other members of the royal family. This was the Thames Diamond Jubilee Pageant, marking the 60th anniversary of the Queen's coronation.
It was an especially proud moment for London's watermen. Licensed watermen operate many of the boats that carry passengers on the River Thames. Throughout London's history, the city has relied on boats for transportation, food and commerce. Back when there was only one bridge across the Thames, London Bridge, watermen were the equivalent of taxi drivers today, constantly ferrying passengers up and down the river. The competition for fares sometimes turned cutthroat.
Boat, sir. Boat, sir. Only tuppence. A penny. A halfpenny. Boat, sir.
But sailing the Thames could be a risky business. The river has swift currents that switch direction with each change of the tide. Sailing under the old medieval London Bridge was especially treacherous because of the narrow archways underneath. Water built up on one side of the bridge and streamed through like a waterfall. Some passengers got out of the boat on one side of the bridge and reboarded on the other, leaving the waterman to sail through on his own. Accidents happened with alarming regularity.
Today's watermen serve a 5-year apprenticeship, a process comparable to obtaining a university degree. Many of City Cruises' captains are licensed watermen, continuing a long and proud heritage. There's no better or more historic view of London than the one you have now, from the deck of a passenger boat on the Thames. central London, you may see a row of green sculpted metal lions' heads along Victoria Embankment on the North Shore. These lions hold rings in their mouths for mooring boats, but there are also an early warning system for flooding. If the water rises to the level of their mouths, the river may overflow its banks. In the words of an old rhyme, when the lions drink, London will sink. When it's up to their mains, we'll go down the drains.
Along the north bank stands an Egyptian obelisk or carved stone pillar. It's called Cleopatra's Needle, one of a pair of obelisks carved more than 3,000 years ago, long before the time of Cleopatra. The other Cleopatra's Needle is in New York City's Central Park.
What's an ancient Egyptian monument doing in London?
Good question. Egypt gave it to Britain in 1798 after Lord Nelson defeated Napoleon in the Battle of the Nile. 6 sailors lost their lives transporting this 180-ton granite slab to London when the vessel carrying it capsized. Cleopatra's Needle now stands between 2 guardian sphinxes that face the obelisk.
If they're guarding it, shouldn't they face outward, watching for danger?
Yes, but Queen Victoria supposedly liked them facing in. One sphinx was damaged during World War I, the second disaster to strike this monument in modern times. Some believe it's haunted by an ancient Egyptian curse. They say that at night, you can hear mocking laughter coming from Cleopatra's Needle.
And the view from them is simply spectacular. In clear weather, you can see up to 40 kilometers or 25 miles in every direction. The wheel takes about half an hour to complete one turn. It moves so slowly that you can climb aboard while it's in motion.
The London Eye has 32 capsules, one for each borough in London. You'll see one of the most historic boroughs now on the North Bank, the City of Westminster, headquarters of Great Britain's government. Westminster's most famous landmark is the clock tower of the Houses of Parliament. You probably call it Big Ben, but technically you can't see Big Ben. That's actually the name of the largest bell inside the clock tower.
A light shines above the 4 clock faces on the tower to signal that Parliament is in session. Another sign that Parliament is hard at work is a Union Jack flying from the Houses of Parliament, just beyond the clock tower. This splendid neo-Gothic building is officially known as the Palace of Westminster. To give you an idea just how massive that palace is, the flag on top is the size of a tennis court. We're approaching our next stop at Westminster Pier. Please remain seated until the boat stops moving. If Westminster is your destination, be sure to take all your belongings with you and return your audio guide to a member of the crew. Thank you for choosing City Cruises.
So that is us at our final stop on the City Cruises. We are now at Westminster. It is worth mentioning that there is another stop, which is Greenwich, which is the other way. So if you did want to go down to Greenwich, which sort of gives you great views of Canary Wharf, you could get a cruise or a city cruise down there as well. Or if you did want to go back to the Tower of London, you can also do that. However, I would mention, if you are using it as transportation, I would probably use Uber boats. They're a much quicker, much sleeker service, so we might be on that later as well. What did you think of the city cruises, Samantha?
It was good.
It was good.
Very informative. I can't say that word.
Very informative. It was very informative. They did have lots of different things about the buildings and the monuments in London. I did, hopefully it picked up on the camera, and you'll be able to listen to some of the conversations that they had. Really informative things, definitely good for the family. So if you have got a family here, and it was worth the money. It was about a 25-minute boat tour, so it wasn't too bad. It has directed us outside where our next vlog is going to be, which is behind me, the London Eye. So please stay tuned for that vlog as well. But definitely worth the money, which was £22 for the both of us, so that's £11 each, so not too bad price. But I hope you enjoyed that vlog, and I hope it gave you some information on London. And if you wanted to, if you are down here, definitely give the City Cruises a look at. So thank you for watching the United Kingdom Attraction channel, and we'll see you next time.